Hey, it's your girl Barbie J. Welcome to my channel. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's other comedy drama, Zatima, Season 4, Episode 5, Lose to Win. And the synopsis for this episode reads, Zach and Fatima face off with Heather's aunt in family court for custody of Michael. And Fatima's career gets a big boost when she takes on a new celebrity client, Sage. And so now, before we get started with the recap and review for this episode, if you are new here or if you are returning and have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, because a lot of you return here, but y'all haven't subscribed, please take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button for me, then hit the notification bell and select all. It'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel or even when I go live. Then I ask that you hit that like button, which is the thumbs up button. Write a comment and join the conversation. Let us hear your 2 cents and your thoughts about the episode. And then share the video because sharing is caring and you really want to help this sister channel grow. Don't you want to help my channel grow? Thank you, because I'll appreciate if you did. All right? So moving right along, I really liked this episode, especially the court scene. I really enjoyed it, even though it seemed like it wasn't in Zach's favor. It wasn't. That's what the title is, Lose to Win. He kind of lost, but then he had a win in the end, if you know what I mean. But it started off with Zach making breakfast for Fatima, and she's cranky in the morning. I guess they trying to show how pregnant women are hormonal and all of this stuff. I didn't care for that scene that much. She was doing a bit too much yelling and getting upset. For me, when the man did something nice, he just gave you options. And I don't need all that food. This is for your 600 pounds. You know, all that wasn't necessary. So anyway, they get to the courthouse. And what is it? Heather's aunt Patricia and the judge, I mean, not the judge, and her counsel are staring at Zach and Fatima when they come in. They getting on my nerves. But anyway, it did seem like a money grab to me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it seemed like Heather's aunt is just as greedy as Heather is, and they just wanted money. What I don't understand is how was Zach had to remember when he was in jail before because for child support. Why is it that he had to pay that money back then, and they had ordered a paternity test back then? I don't know if that was Zatima or sisters. Somebody put it down in the comment section and let me know. But they ordered it then. He shouldn't have had to pay all of that money, talking about back child support. And I have a feeling we're going to find out Michael ain't his son. I don't care how many people say that boy looked like him. We're going to find out that Michael ain't his son. That's what I'm feeling. So what was a good thing was the judge was a black man, and he understood that, you know, he don't believe in keeping a child from their father. And I liked when he said that, you know, but the aunt and her counsel were bringing up stuff from the past, things that wasn't their fault, you know, things that happened. How is he now? You don't know him, but you're looking at past indiscretions, past legal problems, past this. Everybody has something in their past that might stop them from having their own daggone kids. You know what I mean? The judge congratulated them on their engagement and their pregnancy. And, you know, Fatima kept saying stuff out of line, you know, and he was telling her to chill. Zach kept swearing. He was like, watch your mouth. And then Patricia, Heather's aunt, was stepping out of line too with her mouth and her cussing. You know, and he was like, don't make me hold you in contempt of court. But when that aunt was talking about Fatima's salary and trying to get it in there, oh, I was like, she bugging out big time. That we knew it was a money grab. That's how you know it really is then. But then when she found out they would amend it because of their pregnancy and their child, she's like, oh, they got plenty of money. How you know how much money they got? What you got? What you got? Michael ain't running around needing $3,000 worth of clothes. He ain't in no school. That's $3,000. That is covering her roof over her head. That's all it is. I mean, am I wrong about that, y'all? So after Zach stood and said what he was feeling, and the aunt said what she was feeling, you know, that's not my people. We don't know where we went wrong with my niece. He still granted Zach full custody of the child. And I was like, yes, but he had to take an anger management class. I didn't like how Zach had to act a certain way when he said that. What's the big deal? I ain't got no choice. I got to do this. It's like, dude, be happy and take it. Obviously, you do have anger management class. Just do damn classes. That's it. But then he said we'll come back in 6 months. That was kind of messed up. But then our girl Fatima, come on Fatima with the legal eagleese, baby. She stated that Zach is not on his birth certificate and hasn't been legitimized by the court as the parent, as the father, and that they're requesting a DNA test. I was like, yes. And he checked and said, you're right. And she said it was a home DNA test, and I was there, witnessed it and stuff. So then the judge asked Zach, do you question Michael's paternity? And Zach looked at Fatima and said, yes, I do. So they said they have to put off that whole thing with the amendment of the child support. And little Miss Patty Cake was so upset. And another thing that happened when they were leaving, she was saying negative stuff about Zach and was she going to use all her power to keep Michael away from him. And Fatima told her, you don't know us, but let me tell you something. You're going to keep defaming my fiance's character and you're going to find yourself in civil court. You better focus on your abusive ass niece or something like that, she said. And Patty walked away with her attorney saying, can she do that? And Zach thanked Fatima. Fatima said, don't worry, I got you. I was like, yeah, that's love, baby. That's love right there. So now we see Fatima in her office at the law firm, and one of her coworkers come in. I believe her name is Chelsea, and she closes the door. And Fatima's like, oh, that can't be good news. But it turns out to be good news. Chelsea happens to work in the entertainment division, and they represent a lot of high-profile clients. So Chelsea needs Fatima to cover for her while she's on medical leave. But Fatima's letting her know, shoot, I'm going to be on maternity leave soon. But she's saying the timeline works out well. So she explained a little bit of the job and she asked Fatima, would she be willing to do it? So Fatima's like, well, what type of clients you got? She said, well, I represent Sage. She said, Sage? Sage? She said, yeah. She said, I didn't even know that our law firm rep clients like that. She said, well, celebrity clients require an extra bit of confidentiality, which makes sense. And Sage is supposed to be the queen of R&B right now. So Chelsea lets Fatima know that she's aware that she's focused on, criminal defense. But she said when she hears Fatima singing around the office, she can't help but think, what if she opened herself up to the possibility of something more? So Fatima was saying she never even thought about anything other than that. So she said, are you up for the challenge? She said, because I know you like a challenge. And Fatima said, yeah, she's up for it. So she said, you don't need to think about it? She said, no. She said, okay, great. Then come on and get your stuff. She said, where am I going? She said, to the conference room. Sage is there waiting for us. She was like, what? She said, yeah. She said, but there comes challenges with it. She said, what's that? She said, well, Sage is suing her manager. And Fatima's like, isn't her father her manager? She said, yes, that's the challenging part of this new job opportunity. And so Fatima was a little nervous and stuff and everything. And Chelsea told Fatima, while she's out, all Fatima has to handle is the discovery process and the paperwork. But it seems that all of that still will keep Fatima really busy because that discovery part, that takes a lot of work. I've been in court too many times. I know. So as Fatima is looking over Sage's contract, she asks her if she knew that her dad had conservatorship over her until she's 30 years old. Sage was so shocked and upset, and she says her father, Frank, is very controlling. So they start vibing with each other, her and Fatima talking, and they hit it off. And Sage lets Fatima know that she's tired of her father profiting off of her name, and she doesn't want him to have anything to do with her next album. She wants it to be all her own. So as they sitting there, they work out some details. And then Sage tells Fatima that she likes her and that she could be in her circle. And Fatima's like, really? And she said, yeah, girl. So Sage then asks Fatima if she know of any good spots where she could put together a listening party. And so Fatima tells her she may know of a place. And Sage tells Fatima that she's about to help her do something huge. And she was like, oh, okay. So then Chelsea comes back into the conference room to see how things are going. And Sage thanks her for sending Fatima her way. She says she's happy with her. And so Sage leaves and says goodbye. And Chelsea tells Fatima that she's proud of her. Then Fatima's phone ring and it's Zach. And he wanna know when she coming home because he waiting for her to get some. I said she like 200 months pregnant and he talk about sex, you know? These men are a trip. Anywho, she tells him the good news about working with Sage and he's like, word? He's like, that's dope, he said. So he was proud of his boo. You know what I mean? Then they hang up, and then Preston walks by and says he's going to happy hour. So Zach wants to go with him because Tima's not going to be home until late. So then Bryce wants to go as well. And he said, because all he would be doing is sitting in front of Angela's house waiting for her to need him or something like that. And Preston's like, I ain't never seen a man so open. And him and Zach are looking at Bryce like he crazy and stuff. And he said, what's wrong with me? And Zach said, we're going to tell you on the way to the bar. I said, Jesus Christ. And then the episode ends with Tony leaving another envelope of money at this woman's door, but we don't see or hear him knock. However, the lady opens the door while Tony's walking away and she yells, hey, young man, who are you? And he stops for a moment and then continues to walk away. Mind you, it's daytime, so she could see who he is from the back of his bald head to when he turned the corner, the side profile of his face. What the hell is Tony doing? Like Mr. Tyrone said, he gonna end up getting both of them arrested and have them in jail. I mean, if you're gonna do something like that, at least do it at nighttime and not just walk away, run away so that the woman can't see you. And Tony should really know better because he's been around that neighborhood long enough where people can recognize him and probably point him out in a lineup or something from by the back of his head. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the way this episode ended. I did like the first half better than the second half. But even though I was excited for Fatima to get this job opportunity with this singer, I like that connection that they made, you know. So put it down in the comment section what y'all thought about this episode. And I will see you all in the next video. It's your girl Barbie J saying please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Peace.